Shit.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Cats, the Cougar Afterthought Show. Houston wins a lot to less, 74-52. It was a workmanlike effort. I thought you did what you needed to do, and that was it. We're going to get some first thoughts from you guys. It was blackout day, and somebody made me a balloon.
You found that.
Cougar tail.
Galen, what do you think?
Really had me worried.
That was their lowest scoring game in conference play. I think that the second lowest scoring game was against Tech, and it was 59-60. So I'm sure
Yeah.
a game like that goes down to the wire, all the starters are probably in the game. We probably started putting our starters with 4 minutes left. So could have definitely held them under 50. But, again, a good defensive effort from our guys tonight. And, shout out to Coach Jerome Tang. He said it's probably the best defense he's played. I know how much our team and how much our coaching staff, how much they take pride in defending and stopping the ball, stopping the opponent from scoring. So I was just glad that they were able to, put them on lock.
Starns?
He said it was the best defense he's ever seen, which is pretty
Ever.
wild considering he coached
Yeah.
he coached that Baylor team that won
He
the
was
national
at
championship.
Baylor at like 20 years, so this isn't
Yeah.
like he's only done
Yeah.
this for 4 or 5.
Yeah. And I mean, this team has just suffocated everyone who's come into the Fertitta Center. 4 games at 4 home conference games. I don't think the team is what's the most? Was it
UCF
Texas
was the
Tech or-
closest game.
That was the closest game, but I think the most points scored was probably West Virginia at 55, and that game
Okay.
was, I think, probably over at halftime. Yeah, this was just another sort of showing for the defense and another home game where you just took care of business. And especially today, it's important that they did take care of it, knowing that tomorrow at noon they're going to be driving to Austin, and then the next day you'll have a tough road game.
All right, Brad, what do you got?
Well, another home game, another beating. It's good to see. We expected a lot coming into the Big 12. One thing I did not expect is to boat race everybody at home, and that's just the way it's been so far. I mean, last year the teams that came into the Fertitta Center from the American gave us a hell of a lot more trouble than this.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with that has nothing to do with the talent that we're facing. I think that says everything about how good this team is. I think this team is that good. And the thing is that as good as we played at home, we're not even close to being as good as we can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they had a lot of wide open shots today. Missed a lot of free throws, especially early. They went up 20 at the half. They had brought it down to I think 11, and but the entire time you just thought, they could be up so much more right now. Emmanuel Sharp and LJ Cryer both struggled from the field, and if one of those guys has an average game by their standards, then this is an even bigger blowout.
You know what's funny to me? Like, I remember last year, whenever we'd win, John Rothstein, he'd tweet, and all the comments would say, "Oh, a bullshit conference." And it's just like I see it now, and it's just like I don't see those comments anymore. So it's like maybe we were for real. Maybe.
Oh no, I still see it from people talking about our non-conference schedule that ended, a month ago.
You can find something wrong with Miss America. I mean, yeah, you can sit here and say this, say that, but you can't say nothing about our conference. Can't say that.
Well, I mean, you remember a few years ago, Arizona had a lot to talk about it. Oh, you guys it's just because you're in a shitty conference. It's like, okay, let's roll it up.
Sorry to send you guys packing.
The thing that stood out to me was your starters only had 3 turnovers in this game, and each of them played about 28 minutes or so. Francis played 20. Emmanuel Sharp played 31, but everybody else was kind of in that same area. LJ Cryer probably played his fewest minutes as a Cougar, 25. They won't tell you they were resting for Monday, but there was some awareness. And you had a ton of points off turnovers. I think Kansas State's 5 starters had 13 total turnovers, 6 from Kaluma, who Jamie had pegged as one of the big issues, and he was 4 of 9 with 6 turnovers. That's not great. If y'all needed some help on that one. Texas trails at the half, 44-41, FYI, in Provo. The team was extremely prepared today with what they know is looming on Monday. One of the things I worried about was a trap game. There was no trap here. There was no hesitation. There was no.
I think it's like I think you tweeted something about Coach Santa said everybody got it this week, and there was no way he was going to have a follow-up game after such an impressive showing at BYU on the road. There was no way that he was going to allow our team to come out with the kind of lackadaisical mindset. And that's just kind of the psychology that he's mastered being a coach. I remember my senior year, I think we were like the last undefeated team in the country.
Yep.
And so obviously if you're winning all your games, you have to create adversity in practice. And I remember like Coach Sampson, he used to pick me as the guy to coach through to get to the team. So I remember like it'd be after film and Coach Kellen, he'd be like, "G, it's your day today." And I used to be like, fuck, why is it my day? Like, but that's just what he does to keep the team on edge because you can't let guys get comfortable. You got to know that there's no nights off in the Big 12 and everybody can beat you if you come out with the wrong mindset. So hats off again to our leadership, man.
He said that Malik pissed him off so much that he started going after Terrence Arsenault, who's on one leg hopping around out here.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though? Whenever he's in that mindset, you just got to get out of his line of sight because he might look at you, see you, remember what you did on film, and then now it's your ass. Like it's just anybody can and will get it. It's just it's man, you got to just get out of his sight.
More comments. Hey, Gwen.
Gwen, what's good, baby? We missed you last game.
Town says she was here, but we didn't see her. Kansas is down 9 or 10 in the second half. Boy, that's a shame. You just 55 is the most we've given up at home all season. and Jackson State and West Virginia scored 55. I'm going to trust you on that, Sean.
Is that good?
We're slipping.
I'm going to get back to you, Starnes, when they get me the analytics on this to see if that's any good. You got a quick lead in this game. You had a lot of balanced scoring. I thought Kansas State came out of the locker room at halftime. They came out pretty late, but they came out looking beat. They looked like they were done. They knew they were done. And it just looked really bad. Jerome Tang came out late. Tang had some comments in the post game that were surprising to me, talking about his interaction with the referee Gary Maxwell, and what caused the technical foul was that Maxwell was getting on his players, telling them to stop talking, and Tang took that as that you can't do that, and I agree with him. Referees should not say things like that. He said that Maxwell called 2 ticky-tack fouls, and then Tang said to him, "You need to be the adult," and that's what got the tech.
I hate
He
refs
didn't-
and their
he-
egos, man.
He wasn't going to talk about it in the post game, and then he got started,
Yeah.
and then he just kept going.
Refs and umpires are just mall cops.
Yeah, just soft.
I've never liked them.
Really?
Never.
That's shocking to me. BYU went on an 8-0 run to start the second half. Also a shame. I guess Texas is looking ahead. They got a big game at home
Orange
this
out,
week.
yeah.
Does
Yeah,
that
they're doing
BYU
the
game
strike.
make sense to them?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
But I want to appreciate all of you who are focused on the Kansas State game and not focused on anything with the Longhorns. Oh, what shape is that? Points down.
Delicious.
Hey, Galen. What did y'all think about the offense today? It was Kelvin said in the post game, and this is just what he's going to say, is that the offense was great, just didn't make any shots.
Yeah.
They had a lot of wide open shots. They missed a lot early, and they just weren't going down. They were horrible from the free throw line in the first half of this game. At one point, I think it was 1 for 7, 1 for 8, and ended up, I believe it was 23 of 34. So you really didn't miss that many
Second
late,
half.
and that's good. Of course, you had, I believe, Javier and JoJo and Juwan shooting free throws back to back to back, and I think one of those went in, and I think most of them hit the rim. So, Galen or Starnes, what did you think about what you saw on offense?
Yeah, I thought the process was fine. I thought they were getting good shots, especially, just on the first shot and then even on the second shot. They were getting good shots. But, Emmanuel Sharp and LJ just, kind of had that game. And, so I think overall it was fine. I think one of the more concerning things, they were 3 of 8 on layups, and there are especially a couple transition ones where you pointed one out to me, Ryan, where LJ just didn't go up strong, and there were a couple times where they felt like they were going too fast and they were trying to crash to the rim, and it just didn't happen for them. So those were probably the only bad spots there. But other than that, they like you said, they had great shots. They were open, and they had them in succession, and they just didn't go in, and that's just going to happen.
I think nights like this, that's why Coach Sampson, that's why he preaches you have to hang your hat on playing defense, because on any given night, granted, you can have a career night one night, and then you can have an offer the next night, but your defense
Like you
through
did.
that process. Yeah, actually, I scored, but you got to be able to hang your hat on something. And I thought that even though Emmanuel, he struggled, he still found a way to rebound. And it's just like whenever you're going through a slump, you have to find other ways to contribute to winning, because with a guy like Emmanuel and his scoring ability, it isn't going to rain forever. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have another night where he bounces back. Could be this upcoming game. And I think that when Jamal is aggressive, our team looks different. Our team, their vibe is just different. And good old Dame is coming around, man. It's a second double figure game. And I thought that having a good scoring output against a team like BYU on the road in a hostile environment, obviously it's easier to play at home. And I thought that would boost his confidence. And he definitely had another good offensive and efficient offensive game.
I was very impressed with the game Juwan Roberts had. It was pretty low key, but he had 14 points, 6 boards, but 5 offensive. And that's the kind of night you need to have when your shooters are missing shots. Is you've got to grab those rebounds. U of H, I believe, had 15 in the game. They had 15 in Provo as well. So you miss 33 shots, you get 15 boards, offensive boards. That's pretty good. Juwan talked in the post game about his injury and about his game, and let's listen to that right now.
Basically, just try to get my rhythm back. Take a couple steps. Just try to find my groove, maybe chance I get, and just play with a lot of confidence. Even though I took a step back from practice, I still sit back and I still learn. I still try to find ways to help my teammates even when I'm not on the court. So just still trying to help Jay, help JoJo, help the young guys too. Just let them know it's okay to make a mistake. Just try to overcome it, be something good. And just being back on the court now is just basically just trying to get my groove back and just play to the best of my ability.
How is your knee responding to the treatment, and do you feel like you're able to do a little more now than a few weeks ago?
Yeah, most definitely, especially just getting a lot of treatment with John Houston. I think he's the best in the business, and I just keep trusting him and believing in him, and just taking it step by day. No rush, and just trying to get back 100%.
I just thought he had such a monster day. He was 5 of 8 from the floor. I think all 3 he missed were like the layups, the underneath the basket in the first half. I think he missed 2 on the same. He may have gotten 2 offensive rebounds on that possession from his own missed shots.
He said something interesting. He said something. He said let the young guys know it's okay to make a mistake. Coach Sam used to always say we're chasing perfection in an imperfect game. It's like you're going to make mistakes, you're going to do some messed up stuff, but you can always have perfect effort. And that's just something that like you have control over as a player. You can control how hard you play and the attitude that you have. But sometimes offensive nights, you never know how that's going to go. But you can always control your effort and your intent in doing something.
All the bigs, Juwan, Javier, and JoJo all had good games today. I thought Javier was really impressive. He didn't get a field goal attempt, but he was a monster on the boards really early on.
He had 6 in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, he was all over it. And then JoJo Tugler had some good moments offensively and defensively. But offensively, he had some really good, nice rim runs that he was able to get for slams. He had 4 fouls, but that's kind of what JoJo does.
Being a freshman.
Yeah. And then Juwan Roberts, I mean, when he, when his knee's feeling well enough, when he's establishing himself, when they make it a point to establish him down low, he can just be a monster. And I think today he did that, and it was honestly kind of did that quietly.
Gwen says she checked in last week. Towns had that. Towns was first on that story. Hasn't said a fucking word today, but yeah, he was pretty good there. Did you sleep through the game?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking. These inside perspectives are clutch, G. Yeah, whatever. 38% of my stats are made up. That's 94% true. Dunn needs to work on taking care of the ball. Kelvin talked about that in the post game and said he was really frustrated with 3 of Dunn's turnovers. I don't know how many he had.
3.
He had 3. So yeah.
Is it a
I
Dunn
think
turnover that caused him to get rid of his tie today?
I do not recall. I did not see that. I was paying attention to the game, not paying attention to a dude's outfit. But
Ty.
that's fine. Every time JoJo doesn't foul out, it's a positive. He had 4 fouls in 10 minutes, which means he played 6 more and didn't get another foul, and that's
Impressive.
as good as it
Milestone.
gets. Yeah.
When he puts it all together, man, it is gonna be scary. You're gonna be able to run the offense through him. You're gonna it's the versatility that he brings to our team, like just with the chaos that he's able to create with his energy, man, it's gonna be scary whenever he puts it all together.
So
Scary.
next year, his second year, you got to figure he's going to be a good bit better, right? He's going to have a new point guard running the show.
Mhm.
And so you're going to be going through guys like him more, and it's going to look a little different, right?
Yeah, but I would say that by him playing with Jamal, he's going to be able to communicate because Jamal does a lot of things the right way. He's going to be able to communicate how it should be done. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's just like whenever Coach Sam used to always have this saying, he was like, Galen, this is when I was a freshman. He was like, Galen, so you know what's the best thing about freshmen? They become sophomores. It's like a lot of the mistakes that you made whenever it was all brand new to you, you start to realize the importance of not making those mistakes and how much they hurt your team. And I feel like JoJo, he's gonna take a major step come next year, just because of how much faith they have in him. They're gonna give him more rope. But like I said, I'm just eager to see what he's gonna look like whenever he just starts stringing together what we know he can do.
When I think whenever you can think back and watching you and then watching Jamal and also watching Dejan,
Uh-huh.
the distance y'all were between your freshman year to your sophomore and then junior year was almost night and day. You were unrecognizable from your freshman year, and that's the fun thing watching for me is seeing how far they come and just seeing where JoJo is currently and knowing that the intelligence and the flow is going to get better and better and better over time. I can't imagine what this guy's going to look like. I mean, look how far Francis has come just in the last year.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him today because he's moving so much better and a lot more aggression, a lot more sure of himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
it's just like when you're a freshman,
thing.
you just tend to guess a lot. And then whenever you've been in the system for a long enough period of time, it's just what to do. So you're able to move or at least operate with a lot more confidence and a lot more certainty. I remember Coach Sam used to have, he says like freshmen just want to play, sophomores just want to start, juniors want to score, and seniors just want to win. And it's like the older you get, the more importance you realize that the team having success helps you. Like winning helps everybody. And I feel like that's one of the things that you learn when you're a part of that program is the importance of winning and how everybody benefits from it.
Kansas State's 22-point loss, largest of Tang's career. Kansas State
it's only been 2 years, huh?
Well, this is his third. They were
third? Okay.
an Elite Eight team last year. And, I mean, they're a really good program. And the fact that he said in the pregame, this is the best defense he's ever seen.
Saying a lot. I mean, this is. It's not like it's a brand new, really good conference. They've been good for a long time.
High-level basketball for sure.
I mean, Tang was around the college game for 20 years at Baylor. He was here before.
I have an interesting story about Mr. Tang and the first time I met him. I remember I was a freshman at Westbury Christian. LJ Rose, he was a senior, highly sought after. and he committed to Baylor out of high school, right? So I remember like we had like our coaches made us do like this after school like lift bullshit or whatever. And like LJ, if you know LJ is a jokester. Like he was bullshitting, right? I'm talking about like, but Coach Tang had walked in and LJ didn't see him. And Coach Tang was just sitting there just looking. And then once LJ seen him, he was locked in. I was like, dude, you better tighten up. But that's my first memory of Mr. Tang. When he walked in, he was like, his presence just made everybody just like, lock in, That was cool.
Okay. So U of
Shut
H
up, Ryan.
I don't see why you have to be like that, Galen. U of H's schedule is so truncated over the next 2 days, having to travel for the second part of this. They're going to leave tomorrow at noon, which means the staff will be in watching film tonight, doing the analytics on U of H's film, and they'll start watching Texas tomorrow. Obviously, you've been scouting them for a while.
For sure.
But the team has not seen any of it. When you were at U of H, Kelvin said something about this in the postgame, and I'm curious to see if it checks out. Did y'all ever look at a team when you had another game to play? Did you ever go one ahead?
No.
Okay. Well, then he checks out.
He said, it's like, focus on what's in front of you, not what's ahead of you. That was his golden statement about that, because the next team that you're playing can beat you. So why would you not be locked in? All your attention be devoted to that game.
Yeah. Be where my feet are is what he would say. And still does. Hear it a lot. Our guy, Jamie, who did some great stories, is at the boat show because his father-in-law wanted to go to the boat show instead of go watch BYU Texas, which is where Jamie would rather be. Sorry about that, buddy. If it makes you feel any better. I don't understand the boat show.
I'm just
or the
enjoying
car
the
show.
fact that I could watch Kansas game on over Galen's shoulder.
I'm
you see
watching
it, right? You see it.
over
I'm
Galen's
locked
shoulder.
in. I'm locked in. Can't. They're very beatable.
I don't
Very
know.
beatable.
They're on the road and they're at a really hostile environment with student managers filming their timeouts.
I like that kid. I like him. Perfy. He's gonna be all right.
He's gonna be all right.
He's gonna be all right for sure.
Like the spin and dart to the basket by Jawan. They worked on that pregame. They work on it a lot, but they worked on it pregame and told him that was going to be the first shot of the game. And he didn't get to it exactly like he wanted, but had a good look. Missed the first half of this, second half flat, yeah, but got the lead up. I don't know. Did it get over 23? I don't recall.
I think you get up
Largest lead, 29. Yeah, that's what the lead is, 29.
Damn.
Okay, so it was near 30. I am wrong. Jeb is right. Let's hear a little from Kelvin after the game, talking about the schedule, the truncated component. I asked, how does this change what you're going to do? Because U of H has done very few of these, except in the tournament. But I wanted to see, and here's what he had to say. I think this is the quote. If it's not, we're going to not listen to it. But I think this is it.
So, quick turnaround. Are you going to go watch film today? Or wait till tomorrow?
No. We'll meet. I think bus leaves at noon tomorrow. So coaching staff will meet early in the morning. I have to do what I do, our analytics, and make my notes on this game. And then we just do what we always do. It's the next game. I don't know that we ever look at it any more than that. When I was in Oklahoma, one of the big things was Big Monday. Remember when that first came out? We were on Big Monday a lot. And every time you're on Big Monday, you played on Saturday. So I've gone through this a lot of times, many times. I just don't, we got a game Monday night. Team we plays today. We play today. We're all on even turf. So it's our next game. we'll go get ready for it.
My mother would say I had wooden ears.
So that was Kelvin. BYU's shooting 69% in this game. Is that any good?
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
They're shooting 46% from three. Adequate. They're not playing any
Kansas is
defense,
coming
but
back.
yeah, Kansas is going to win that game. You hate to see it, but they're gonna get it done. So I am so curious to see how this team recovers and moves on. I mean, you're leaving tomorrow at noon. They'll get to Austin and they'll do a full-on practice tomorrow night, guaranteed. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
for
sure.
And then they'll watch film tomorrow night, and then you've got a long time till 8:00.
Yeah.
But it's the same sort of situation they found themselves in Provo. It was 7:00 local time, 8:00 here. So I think this is as interesting a game as you have, and then you turn around again and go to Kansas later in the week.
I think it's beneficial that we just have a coach who's literally seen it all. Like I can't say that there's not too many things that he hasn't seen in this game, and obviously our standards they never change. The next game we play or whoever we play, we expect to win. Our routine isn't going to change. We expect to win doing what we do.
I think the great coaches in any sport are able to get their team prepared for every game, but able to avoid the letdown. And I think that is very hard to do. That's especially in college, really hard to do. And Calvin Sampson has been great at avoiding that, and they did that today. And so now you have your full focus is on Texas, and then you have 4 days until you go to Kansas. So, I mean, that just speaks to the kind of coach he is and how he's able to prepare his team. I mean, for this kind of schedule.
I love how it sets up because going Saturday, Monday, and then going to Kansas next week. I mean, this is literally NCAA tournament schedule. I mean, this is your trial run for the tournament.
Yeah.
And given the quality opponents that we're playing in this 3-game run, this is really no different than being in the Elite Eight. And this is what it's going to take to get to the Final Four. So anybody who hadn't been here, this is what we're playing for.
Yeah.
And you're going to see this same thing later in the year. You get Texas on a Saturday here. You turn around, get Iowa State here on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to Baylor at 11 a.m. the next Saturday. So another 8-day, 3-game stretch with all 3 tournament teams. I mean, this 3-game stretch, all 3 tournament teams. So you're going to do 2 of those at home. This one you're doing 2 on the road. But you're going to get that one right at the end of February, about 3 weeks before you go into the tournament. Perfect timing. And I think this lines up pretty well.
I thought I feel like it's also great that we're able to go into our next game feeling good about ourselves. Like, let's say we had a lackluster performance or it came out to being a close game because we were making a lot of mistakes. We'd be going into that game with kind of some tainted energy. But I feel like we're able to go into that game kind of like feeling good about ourselves and our efforts. So it's like I feel like that always helps you play better whenever you have good energy heading into let alone a tough road game.
I'm just trying to look at what exactly BYU is doing. They're not missing shots, and it turns out that's really good if you want to win. They're shooting 71%.
Damn.
71%.
What's the score?
It's 67-55. This is 10 minutes to play in the second half. So 30 minutes, they're shooting 71%. I don't understand how you only have 67 points, to be honest.
That is a very, very high – that is a very lethal offensive team.
They really are. I think they're really good.
Whoever they see in the tournament, it's going to Put your
No,
jerseys
thank
in
you.
mothballs. Yeah, it's gonna be ugly for you. It's gonna be ugly.
Kelvin was a big fan of the kid Waterman, and he's got 15 tonight. So does Robinson. And Yalsky Traore has 12 and 4. It turns out they figured out to use him.
Yeah, definitely a reliable post option for sure.
Yeah.
He was not scared of the moment. He knew what he was gonna do down on that block for sure.
Starnes is ejected for a moment. So we're gonna just take him off the stage.
Just taking a few looks at that, it looks like Texas getting rattled pretty easy. So that makes me feel pretty good about going there.
Sprinkle that in with the altitude and that environment. It's probably crazy in there.
Can't be
Crazy.
soft. Can't be soft
Yeah.
in that.
Iowa State's opened it up to 9 over Kansas with about 3 minutes to play.
You're talking about the team that's gonna finish in the middle of the Big 12, who's not. Is that the team you're talking about? That Iowa State?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, because that's
You don't
what they
think
were
they're very
saying.
good?
That's what they were saying. That's what Kansas was saying when we lost.
Oh,
They
yeah.
played a so-and-so middle of the pack Iowa State team, and then boom,
You know.
let us lose to UCF.
Well, the funny thing is Kansas went there last year and they got it.
Right.
I think they got
right?
beat by like 22 last year.
Yeah. That's too bad. They seem like very reasonable, rational people.
But their out-of-conference schedule was so good. It's so tough. Look how good we are. Cheeks get clapped.
Towels, you wildin' for that, man. You wildin'. But yeah, them boys look like they folding for sure.
That's
Down
too
9,
bad.
2:40 left. Oh man, I got a lot to say about this one.
I'm sure you do. Were there? I did not see any football recruits. I saw some volleyball recruits. David Rear had a couple of players that looked like I don't know the big board in volleyball. I apologize. U of H basketball had a guy in. What's his name? Nigel Walls.
Nigel Walls, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's from Episcopal. He's a junior. He'll be a senior next year. You've seen him.
Mobile, skilled. He has a very high ceiling.
Okay.
Very high ceiling. Yeah.
He has Kansas State and U of H in the teams he's looking at. I would see Kansas State and be like, well, that's where I need to go. They need help. If I'm going to be 6'10" and Javier and JoJo are in front of me, but that's also a good place
I feel
to learn.
like he's more of a 4.
Okay.
Definitely more of a 4. But I feel like you pair him with Coach Kell and his ability to develop guys on that side goal. That'll probably be the best thing for him in his development, along with Coach Sampson's coaching and what he demands. I feel like that'll probably be the most beneficial thing for his career, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. But very high ceiling, super mobile, super, just like a big guard almost. Like he has that type of potential to him. Yeah.
Yep.
Have you seen? Not only have I seen Shelton Henderson, worked out with him several times. That kid is a man. He is about 6'6", about like 220. The first time I seen him, I'm like, I was like, oh, bro, where you play at? Thinking like he's a pro. Because he just looks like he doesn't look like a high school kid. Just built like a man. Very skilled. I just think the biggest thing for him is once he mentally realizes like what he can do and who he is, I feel like that's when it's really going to be scary for everybody else. He has all the physical tools, has the athletic, skilled, can shoot it, put it on the floor, can dribble. There's nothing he can't do on the basketball court. And I feel like if we were to get him, that would also probably be another. Coach Sampson would probably let him rock. He's one of those guys that type of size, that dynamic, yeah, he'd flourish.
When you say let him rock, what do you mean?
Like, kind of like how I feel like Coach Sampson, he put like a lot of faith in Nate early, like Nate Hinton.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he kind of do that same thing for Shelton, just because like he's a 6'6". I think Nate was 6'4". This kid is a lot bigger, more athletic, better handle. I think that he is one of those guys. if you've seen him playing in the association, it would not come as a shock. Like he has that type of talent to him. He has that type of ceiling. And you mix that ability with a guy like Coach Samp, who's able to get you to understand the small things about the game and take your mindset to another level. I think he's one of those guys.
Shout out Nate Hinton.
Shout out Nate Hinton, man.
Shout out GoCoogs.com, your place for recruiting info. If you ever need recruiting info, this is obviously where you come.
Absolutely.
The BYU is going to probably win this basketball game. I'm just going to go out on a limb. They're up 17 right now. They're up to 72.5% shooting. How do you keep bringing that up? You're not missing shots, I guess. Jacob McFarland is starting to see it slow down, is what I'm observing. And he is gaining weight. I mean, he's almost overweight now. He's 6'10", 112 pounds. And you feel like, wow, he has let himself go. No, he's gained a lot of weight. I thought today he looked even bigger than when I saw him at BYU, whatever that was, 3 days ago.
Cougar tails.
Yeah, he had a couple of those 2,100 calorie cougar tails.
5 of them.
Yeah. You have an enormous hand, by the way. Don't do that ever again. Yeah. Kansas is within 2 with 1:10 left. I don't know how live my feed is.
No, it's right on point.
You can see the game right over Galen's shoulder.
Well, I can see I'm blind, so I can't read the score. Connor says he's got a good feeling that Henderson's going to come to U of H. We'll see.
I mean, just think about it, man.
Shit.
I think Shelton, he posted some pic. He had visited LSU, and it's just like we're at a time now where, like, if the decision comes between Houston and LSU, Houston seems like the better basketball decision. How crazy is that? How crazy is that, man?
Well, LSU is a tomb. It's an awful place to play. It's a 52-year-old arena now, and I personally never liked it. There were just a few times where it felt like it was a big-time arena. When Shaq and Stanley Roberts played against Duke, that was a big-time atmosphere. But since then, it's just
I don't even think I was alive.
Iowa State is up 5 with 20 seconds to play.
Yeah, that would have been, what, 1990?
You were not alive. It was 90, 89 or 90. Is my recollection.
Back before Chris Jackson changed his name.
Yes, he was still Chris Jackson.
Mahmoud.
I hate that I'm watching other games while we do this, but pretty interesting. That's what
that 12 does. That's all. Like whenever we're in practice, that's all we talk about is like the Big 12, college basketball. That's all we talk about because a lot of our guys are from those programs. So it's literally all that it's crazy. All we talk about.
I believe the women.
Galen, I got a question for you. Tajay's on a 10-day was on a 10-day contract with Portland. How does the 10-day contract work going between the G League up to NBA?
So you get basically 10 days to show them if they want to renew your 10-day or if 10 days is enough for you. But if you just think about his journey, right? You go from he was not starting whenever Marcus and Tremont goes to starting he was able to play through his mistakes because he wasn't looking over his shoulder to see if he was going to come out of a game because there was nobody else to put in. So it's just in turn that builds your confidence. You're allowed to, work through errors and not worry about the consequences. And he goes from damn near out of the rotation to starting to damn near being a go-to guy.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how like whenever you stay ready, when your opportunity comes, you're gonna make something shake, and I couldn't be more happy for him just knowing his journey and all the work that he's had to put in. And it's just he was just always ready. And he he played an NBA game, got an NBA dunk against LeBron James and the LA Lakers. It's like your first bucket against the Lakers, man, you can't beat that with a bat. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like I'm extremely happy for him.
I saw some highlights of him from this year. Honestly, didn't recognize him with his shaved head.
Yeah,
It looks weird.
I was like,
Yeah.
who the hell is that? Oh, that's once I saw the hops, I was like, oh, that's
yeah. Once you saw that his chest at the rim, yeah.
That dude could elevate.
Whoa,
Man.
Iowa
And
State has
with-
won.
Yeah,
With those-
that's too bad.
He's able to elevate with all those all those leg surgeries. What is it? Something like 5, 6,
Yeah.
and he still has that. And just kind of insane. I loved him in 2022. He was.
Oh yeah, that was a really good
Incredible to watch.
team. That was a complete team. They could attack you from any position, whether it was Jamal, Collar, Tajay, Big Josh, or Fabe. They could attack you 1 through 5, whatever matchup, for sure.
Yep. Poor Kansas. Huh.
You know, that's
You gotta
that-
you feel real sorry for him, man. The world's just against him. Everybody hates him. They're so hard done by.
they get screwed by the refs a lot, I hear.
Yeah,
They rushed the
apparently.
court at Hilton. Good for them. I am pro rushing the court whenever you want to do it. Just go have fun. Who cares? Yes,
Yeah.
you should. You should always rush a court if that's what your fan base wants.
Just rush it no matter what. I think that'd be.
Well, I don't know if that's quite true. But yeah,
How many Caitlin Clarks are going to happen?
1 in a million. I
even
don't think so.
on a Kansas bad year, that's a good win. And
Yeah.
that's a win that your program is going to celebrate.
It's a win that's respected for sure.
Yeah. And, you know, they may not be the greatest team, but you're gonna still be celebrating that. I
Those
don't
dudes
know
are
how to deal
trouble,
with this
man.
Kansas.
They're a tough matchup.
Kansas?
Who is?
No, Iowa State.
Yes. For
I feel
sure.
like they're really good at home. I don't
Right.
know if they're like if they come here and play the same game they play, they might get beat by 20.
I was talking to somebody in the program about this same thing, and I asked when they come here, and he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna win by 20," and you know, take that for what it's
Yeah.
worth. But they feel like that it was the first game in the Big 12 on the road,
Yeah.
and this team was not ready for what they had to deal with. They just weren't. But
I
they
feel
showed
like
you in
whenever it
Provo
comes to-
they were.
I feel like whenever it comes to stuff like that, they always try to fuck us. Like I remember, I think it was my junior year. I think it was when Wichita State first got into the American, and obviously they were a good team. They had, I think, probably 2 NBA. Austin Reeves was on that team. Landry Shamet. They had 2 NBA players. A couple guys playing high level in Europe. They had a very good team,
Yep.
very good atmosphere, and that was our first road game to Wichita State. And we couldn't have been more disoriented. Like they beat the shit out of us. Like beat the dog shit out of us.
Yep.
Like to the point where I was like, these guys are unbeatable. Like it was crazy. And it's like for them, they just try to fuck us, man. Jeez.
What was the coach's name that was there? Marshall was his
Greg
last name.
Marshall.
Greg
He just
Marshall.
always looked like he was just panicking, slicking his hair back. Like,
Oh,
it's like, bro, relax.
He used more hair dye in his hair
Man,
than anyone
Jesus
you've ever
Christ,
seen.
man. His hairline looked
Uh,
like Mickey Mouse's ears. Like it's like, bro, just cut it off. Cut it off, brother. It is hanging on by a thread.
Texas Tech is down 7 with 8 minutes to play. If they lose, U of H is
Number
first in the
1,
conference. And you
comfortably,
can't imagine
almost.
after losing back-to-back games that after 7 games you're tops in the league. But that could be the thing.
I
Texas
feel like
is
when
down
every
32.
game is a game, when every game is a game you could lose, it's so fast how quickly the tables can turn. Like I think it might have been last year. I think Kansas State. I think they were unranked. They won 2 games in a week, and they were ranked number 12. So you go from unranked to being a top 15 team in just from 1 week in the Big 12.
Yep.
Crazy.
Well, Texas
Crazy.
Tech came here and got their doors blown off and went from 25th to 20th in the nation because they beat whoever it was. I don't even remember.
Hey, like the SEC in football,
Yeah,
you get
you're
quality
supposed
losses.
to lose at Houston. Yeah, you're supposed
Quality
to lose.
losses.
Yeah. The bald dude, what do we really think of the AP poll? It doesn't matter
Yeah,
No.
because you get ranked Monday at lunch and then you can lose Monday night and then whatever. You're one in Ken Palm, you're one in the net, you're one in every metric across the board that the committee's going to look at. They're not going to spend 1 second looking at the AP poll.
No.
And so you're doing what you need to do. And
Here's how
you know,
much rankings matter. I remember, I think it was St. Mary's. They were a top 25 team, and they were in the NIT.
Yeah.
Yep.
How is that
Well,
possible?
weak schedule in the West Coast Conference for sure.
But you beat Gonzaga, like you are a top 25 nationally ranked team. How are you in the NIT?
No offense, Starns, but media people don't know what they're talking about. They just don't
By
have
and
a
large,
clue.
they
No,
don't.
I really don't.
And I'm not saying you. I think you're pretty good, but you know, who is the beat writer for Virginia Tech? Is he really watching a lot of West Coast Conference games? Probably not. Probably not.
Then he just sees that, they're 27-3. They've got to be awesome.
Right. Or some 70-year-old from Syracuse who thinks if you're in the Big East and have a over 500 record, you're a top 10 team. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable that Texas is going to lose this. I mean, they're shooting 48% and down double digits. That's
crazy.
That's hard to do.
Someone comment just brought up there was that voter, that AP voter that I think he rescinded his vote.
Feinstein.
This is on me. I did this. We did this. We made John Feinstein's one of my favorite writers. The way he writes books, his arrogance in ACC basketball is just so much more elite than everybody's. No, it's not. Hadn't been a long time.
Yeah.
You know, Dean Smith ain't walking through that door.
Big Ten basketball is so overrated.
Well, you're not going to get any argument from me on that.
Right.
Just the best basketball in the country is played right down the middle of it, and that's just what it is. And you know, the Pac-12 is struggling, the SEC struggles, the ACC is bad, the Big East is not near what it was, but right down that center of the country is where the best basketball is being played. But John Feinstein, we did that. We celebrate John Feinstein Day every year. And we're going to continue to do that because F that guy. So anything more about this game y'all have? You know, we should talk about it some.
Tyler Perry was in hell.
With an O. Tyler with an O, not with an E.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yeah,
Tyler
not Medea.
Perry.
Not the Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
He looked like Medea.
Man.
He got turned up.
When did your language change, Towns? He got turned up? Who are you? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
he got turned up.
You said we were going to chop it up on the
That's
the
a
tweet.
Galen phrase. That's a Galen phrase. And
we're not chopping anything.
The players use it, and Galen uses it. So I appropriated it for one tweet. But I'll damn sure not do that again. I came prepared for this blackout day. I got me a new hat.
You ever seen 8 Mile? You ever seen 8 Mile? I'm on your ass.
B-Rabbit.
Oh man, looked like one of the meth dealers on Breaking Bad.
Lose yourself.
Jesse Pinkman.
Skinny Pete.
Skinny Pete.
You can all go to hell.
Looking like Marshall
Look at that
Mathers.
hat.
Boy, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Okay, well then we're just gonna get rid of that. We'll just go right to the GoCoogs. I'm gonna get somebody good in here to do this show, and not you assholes.
I just think,
I'm
man,
looking for a Texas.
whenever you can guard like we guard, you're never out of the fight, and you always have a chance to win. Um, our guys, the scouting report, how detailed it is, how specific it is to each guy, and like even everything from top to bottom.
Give us an
It's
example on that of how detailed that would be.
it's like
Like, what would they get into?
it's like certain guys, you're gonna just chase them wherever they go. No shots. Every shot is every shot is contested against our defense, but there are certain guys who require a little more attention than others. It's like whether he's a right hand driver, because some guys whenever they drive, they like to counter and get to their strong hand and finish with the left. It's like whenever he dribbles twice, he likes to go between the legs. It's stuff like that, and it's like everybody has to know that this is what that guy likes to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it might be a time where you're matched up on him when you get in transition, and you have to know how to stop him if you're at a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like how specific it is, and how much our guys spend on paying attention to that amount of detail. Us having these types of defensive showings is not a surprise. It's not a mistake. Our guys have earned the right to stop the opposing team from scoring because of how much energy and effort they put into the scouting report and the attention to detail.
So on the scouting report, you get that in person, right? In film sessions.
Oh yeah.
Is it written? Is it on the iPad? Do you get? I mean, like how are they getting this information fully?
You walk into the film room, you got the guy, what he does well, what he averages, and then they put like film to the writing. So it's
Okay.
like just think Jamal probably watched Tyler Perry on film fucking up whoever was guarding him. Between the leg, three, cash. Like it's just they put the best highlights of him just to put a little bit of fear in you. And it's just like obviously the guy's a dynamic scorer. Everybody's watching this film. And it's just like this guy single-handedly has a talent. If he gets hot, he can beat us. And it's like Coach Simpson, he always says, it's not defense isn't a one-on-one thing. It's a team thing. You know, it's going to take our team and our scheme to stop somebody. So it's real detailed, it's real thorough, and you know, our coaching staff they hours of film. Just like next game against Texas, Max Absmus. He's shooting like 40% from three, averaging almost 18 points per game at 6 foot in the Big 12. Jamal's watching that. Our guys are watching that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they're going to be ready. Nothing that they do is going to be a surprise.
Whose
That's
film
fair.
did you watch, Galen, that really popped out to you the most? They're like, oh crap, I have to guard this guy.
I mean, I got the best defensive draw every game. If it was a guard,
Yeah.
if he was under
You mean
6'8",
the best player, right?
yeah. Like I guarded
Okay.
the best. If he was under 6'8" and he was a guard, I was guarding him. But I'd say that the toughest guy for me to guard was probably he went to Cincinnati, Jaron Cumberland,
Mm-hmm.
just because he was about 6'5", 6'6", like 230, and it was just he was so much bigger than I was that like it was I couldn't give him nothing, and he could just shoot right over me. He had a quick trigger, so it was just like. Yeah, it was really tough for me to guard him. But I'd say if it was another guard, like point guard, like guarding a guy like BJ Taylor who went to UCF, it wasn't hard for me to guard a guy like that because you're my size and I'm faster than you and I have great anticipation.
So for Cumberland, it was his size. I mean, his talent, obviously, but
Yeah.
his size.
And
Okay.
then like when you're guarding somebody who can shoot anything and the coach won't say nothing, it's like you have the ultimate green light. If you miss, like the next play is for you. Like it's hard to guard a guy like that. Super hard.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Cumberland was a beast.
Yeah.
Gwen says watching film sounds like torture. I can't imagine that it's the most fun experience. And you hear about these 3 and 4 and 5 hour sessions.
Yeah.
You had some rough ones, right?
Yeah, for sure. But it's like it's not fun. But when you look up at the scoreboard after a game and it's in your favor, the film probably played a good part in that. So obviously it's not fun, but it's important to your team's success. And noticing, like putting a visual to what somebody is saying, it's priceless.
We have two options. We can go. Ryan looks like he's dealing Duke bags or dime bags. Could go either way.
Nah.
And yeah, so Tech is back in this game. It's a 4-point game with 3.5 minutes to play. Texas is down 11 with 90 seconds or so to play. BYU has just fallen off a cliff. They're now only shooting 65%. So
I would have loved for Texas to win this game.
yes,
I would have loved for them to win this game.
you needed them. Everything going well,
Yeah,
sunshine and
yeah,
lollipops
yeah.
and all that.
I mean, not that I don't think that we could, but it's just like when you get a road win like that with all the factors that go into it, you tend to feel good about yourself and get satisfied. You know what I'm saying?
But I think Texas
sure.
is like that regardless.
We're Texas. Yeah, we're Texas.
They're just satisfied with that.
We should win. We should win just for showing up. Yeah.
The women's team just went up 2 on UCF on the road with 2 minutes left.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been sticking around and they just on an and one steal.
I can't wait to do that. Man. Fuck. Horns down.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't make anyone's coach cry, about being classless.
I vote be as classless as possible.
I'm expecting to be disappointed on Monday. I'm just looking forward to get them here and then just beat them into the freaking pavement.
I think this game could be easier than the home game because they've seen good defensive teams. They have not seen anything like this. And you watch that film and you can watch 100 hours of it and you still don't understand what this team is about to do to you. And I think every team that sees it, with the exception of Iowa State in that first Big 12 road game, but every other team that has seen it has been like, oh, shit, look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
And
that's what Jerome Tang said. He said you can't simulate how they play.
And we've been talking about that for weeks. Is you cannot simulate this. There is no scout team that exists anywhere that can simulate this.
Well, I think that's the cool thing about our program, and how difficult it is, because everybody truly believes that they are playing hard, but you don't understand what it means to play hard until you play for Kelvin Sampson, because playing hard at a lot of places is, trying pretty good and, maybe take a play or two off, maybe not move a whole lot, trying to catch your breath whenever you're off the ball. Man. But on here, playing hard is, if you're playing as hard as you would at some other school, you're going to get left behind here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Today we had practice, and one of my teammates, Landers Nolly, went to Cincinnati, the ultimate shit talker. But he finally gave us our props today. And I remember telling him, like, bro, it was one time that, like, I didn't take a charge, and I had to take 15 charges in a row.
In practice.
It's like I just had to line up under the rim, and everybody had to run into me. It's like that is the standard. Like, there was never a time I didn't take another charge. I only needed one time. But it's just like at other programs, it's like you might watch a program like DePaul or this, or like, and it's just like half you guys is like half the battle would be like you guys would play significantly better if y'all just played harder. But it's like no attention to detail, and it's just like our program. I would love to see another team practice because I've only been a part of one guy's practices. And I know folks ain't doing that. No way. No.
So when I watch other teams play, when I'm doing video and looking at what other teams are going to be doing against us, I find myself getting irrationally annoyed at how soft teams play on the pick and roll, or how little defense that they play. And you see guys standing around. It's like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah. It'd be so many times I'm watching our guys, I'll be like, damn, they play hard. I was thinking like, damn, this is what it looks like. Like those guys get after it, man. They get after you, like relentless.
I've sat in so many interviews talking to guys or just shooting the bull, and everyone we get into this subject about, they all tell me when they got here, they thought they were playing hard. Like they thought
I
in
can
high
tell you,
school, all I did was play
man.
hard.
I,
And when I got to U
I
of
can't
H,
even watch a high school game anymore.
yeah, you've told me that.
Ryan, I went to go watch my old high school play. I was disgusted. Like I was about to like all y'all get on the line. Like no, like this is unacceptable. They think they're so cool. Like and to think that I was once like that. It's like damn, that's disrespectful to the game. Like my goodness.
Last year,
You think you know and you have no idea the standard
last
that
year,
Coach
you
Sampson,
and I
no
were
idea.
talking with Jawan Roberts, and you asked him, "Have you gone to see a high school game recently?" And he looked at you and said, "Why? Like, why would I go do that?"
It's
And
hard. It's hard to do.
I just love this shit talk.
It's
But
hard to
guys
do,
get
man.
here, and Jamal, he wrote for us, and he said, I cried because this was hard, and I wasn't ready for it. I
I
had
did too,
gone to
brother.
practice.
Every Coach
They've been
Sampson is
after
gonna
him since he was 14, just like you.
he's gonna break you. He's gonna break you at some point in time. Everybody is gonna cry at some point in time. It's gonna happen. It's part. If it didn't happen, brother, it's something's wrong. It's gonna happen. I remember thinking like Rob Gray. I used to think that he was just so unbothered. I think we was playing at SMU. It was at SMU my freshman year. Coach Sampson was on his ass. We get into the locker room. Rob is balling. I said, "Oh shit, he is human. Like he got emotions." That's the first and only time I seen him cry. I probably cried like about 8, 9 times during my tenure. Man, that shit was. He is gonna break you for sure. It's gonna happen regardless.
That's
Oh
too
man,
bad.
shit ain't easy, man.
Texas loses.
Shocker.
That's terrible. You would have wanted.
Welcome to the Big 12.
UCF has the ball down to U of H. 10 seconds left. They're bringing it up.
Down 2. 10 seconds left.
They tied it. 4 seconds left. U of H has the
Wait, is it? Where is it at?
It's at
In
UCF.
Orlando. They're playing right here on this court that I'm sitting on, Galen.
I mean, because it looked like
It's weird.
I'm saying like Starns looked up like he was watching something. I'm like,
I set my phone on my laptop, so I'm watching it.
oh, I'm like, oh shit. Shut up, Ryan. Damn. Big 12 boogieing. The guy from GoCoogs.com. Why don't I have like a little?
But you can set that, buddy.
Oh,
before you come in,
yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn. You've changed it before.
I had it Galen, but it was like, so Galen Jr. That's me.
Yeah, that is you. Nobody can change that except you. Wait, actually, maybe I can. Shout out. There you go.
Shout out.
I'm just playing with some things. Let's see if this works.
Shout
okay,
out.
maybe not. Not everything works. Nope.
Ryan, are you going to Austin?
Well, of course. I didn't go to Provo, fucking Utah, and then not going to go to Austin.
I mean, hey, brother, you never know what life be like sometimes, man.
Life be like that, yeah. No, I'll be in Austin. I'll be at Kansas, and then I get a week off of travel. I'm not going to Cincinnati or Orlando, whatever the next game is.
You ain't going to see familiar American foes, huh? Yeah.
Just
we ain't
hard
doing
places to travel, and I've done those trips, and I don't need to do those again.
Yeah.
But I'll be at Baylor and Kansas and OU in
Fucking Norman.
Texas.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing this arena in Austin, and I love that they're going to do this stripe out. It'll look cool. The people will be into it. Although, maybe you all stay home. U of H fans can get cheaper tickets on StubHub tonight or SeatGeek. I think we have a deal with SeatGeek.
The game went into overtime. U of H.
Damn.
UCF.
They were up 4, you said?
They were up 2 with 10 seconds.
Okay.
UCF tied it.
Yeah. Was Coach too tough on Dunn? No. If that's too tough, then he's not made for March. And I don't think even he will call that too tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terry will cry when they come here.
Ryan doesn't eat shitty chilians for me. Me to eat.
Yeah. I've tried it. It's not for me. Galen, do you ever run with the team at practice?
I pay my dues. I ain't running shit. I ain't running shit. Nah.
Okay, that's fair.
But the thing is, like, it was so habitual for me to run. Like, whenever I go back and I see the guys and they have to get on the line, it's like, I feel like I should go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to do it so many times, but nah, hell no. Sit my ass on that sideline happily.
All right, let's go to our final thoughts. Let's take it around. Starns, what you got?
Yeah, U of H just flex their muscles on defense again as they have all year, especially at home. And four home conference games, and it was never a doubt in any of them by the first half.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do in this conference. You need to win your home games, and they've done that better than you could way better than you can ask for. And now you get to pick off another road game, but it's a quick turnaround. So it's good that they took care of business here, so they were able to get the starters some rest before they went to a tough environment.
Brad?
Still a big work in progress, but it really feels
Wait,
like.
What do you mean a big work in progress?
Just a lot of stuff that we got to shore up. Not defensively. Defensively, we look pretty good. Offensively, we're still starting to figure it out. But I think the thing that's happening before that's going to happen is guys are figuring out their roles and where they're going to be able to contribute. I mean, you're not.
Hey, Towns, you might know what you're talking about, man.
Uh-oh.
God
Little bit, not much.
Dude, shit.
But I mean,
right,
what I'm talking about is guys like they're not getting minutes just to see if they're going to get to play more. Guys are starting to slide into a role. Like Malik will come in and get 3 to 4 really solid minutes, whether he gets a steal, rebound, assist, shot every now and then. Ramon's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Dunn's getting quality minutes whenever he's in there, making some mistakes, but he's getting better at that. But everybody's starting to figure out kind of where their strength is going to be and what their addition is going to be to the team. I still think they're really close on offense. Once they understand that right now the middle of the floor is wide open and there's a lot of good shots in there. I think LJ hit a couple, or at least got to the paint a few times that had open jump shots because they're covering out so far. But as soon as our offense starts clicking, then these 20-point games, 15-point games, we're starting to 30, 40-point games. I mean, it's really going to look like us playing in the American again, just beating the hell out of people. That's just the way it is. The new sheriff's in town, and we're starting to get the gun greased up. Maybe is that what you call it? But no, I'm happy to see this team starting to kind of figure who they are.
Okay,
Yeah.
Still a ways
Galen?
to go.
I just think that with our defense, like I said, we're never out of any type of competition. But like I think what Town said was right about guys figuring out their roles. And guys built like Dame, he's having some confidence building games. And it's like when a guy like him and of his pedigree of talent, whenever he gets in a groove offensively, that is going to take so much pressure off of LJ, Jamal, everybody, because a guy like that, he doesn't need anyone to create for him. He can manufacture his own buckets and just get his own money. So I just think that our offensive ceiling is high. I'm glad we have a guy like Jamal, guys like Jamal and Big Juan kind of being our anchors because I feel like they're really consistent. But like I said, the ceiling for this team is super high. But if they can just continue to manufacture good shots, even on bad offensive nights, you're gonna know you're still getting good looks, and you're gonna be able to play defense. So, I'm really excited to see what our team's gonna look like Monday.
I think everybody is going to really miss Jamal and Jawan when they're no longer here.
Facts.
You have two anchors, as you said, that any team would be happy to have one of those guys. But this team has two. You've got it down low and you've got it up top. They're calling the signals on defense, one up top, one down low. And you're going to miss that. Jamal is the best collegiate point guard I've seen in a few years. And I love Jawan's game. I think he has the ability to take over. But yeah, this team at home is so much fun to watch. But I'm going to be honest, I have loved going on the road and watching them. And that's what you're going to get again Monday night at 8 o'clock. That adversity, this team handled it for a good part of the game against Iowa State, but you went down way too much. Handled it a good part against Iowa State, but couldn't make the play at the end. And then he totally handled it at BYU. Texas Tech just won, so they're going to be leading the league. And U of H hockey just got their first win in forever.
Wow.
75 years. Well, I mean, since the reincarnation, but yeah.
Were they playing cones or something?
Yes. Cones was up 3-2 late in the game, but U of H scored twice.
Oh, it was UTSA 5-3.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
Yeah. The arrows, they are not. But this team is making it happen. And, Monday's going to be a test. Next Saturday's going to be a test. And if I were going into war, I think this is the group that I'd want to do it with.
Got battle-tested guys leading the charge, man.
I don't know if you're taking U of H or the field in the Big 12, I don't know if I'm taking U of H quite yet. But they've come in and shown that even though it was a lesser league the last few years, they're ready. This is what they're built for. And, you're missing a guy in Terrence Arsenault that really could use. But these guys are figuring it out. And I just think this is going to be as fun to watch this team on the road and getting deep into this league. You're still not even halfway through the league.
Yeah.
After next Saturday, I believe you're halfway. You're through 7 now. That'll be 9. So, where is it? Where are you as a program? And I think things are looking up. And I think, Starnes kind of mentioned it earlier, but Kansas State made sense today. Maybe they didn't make sense in football, but they made sense in basketball. And, for an opposing coach to say that's the best defense I've ever seen is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But U of H fans have just gotten kind of used to it. And I don't know that they necessarily appreciate how good this defense is.
Yeah.
But it's really good and it's fun to watch. And all eyes all over the country will be in Austin Monday night. That's the biggest game in the country on Big Monday. U of H and Texas, even though Texas is not going to be ranked, it's a
going to have
huge
a
game.
ranked feel to it for sure.
It's going to feel big. And I can't wait
Whoa
to get there.
Ryan. Pause that.
Whoa there, Ryan, he said. Yeah. Galen, any
Oh.
shout outs? Did we miss anything?
Hey man, shout out to God, man. That's all I got today. Shout out to God, man. Glad to be doing this show with y'all, with you guys, man. This shit is always fun for me. Definitely the highlight of my day. And I guess that probably says a lot about my day, but yeah, man, I thoroughly enjoyed this show, man.
Okay. Any shout outs for you, Starns? You got anything? Okay.
Not really.
Good talk.
Shout out to my dad and brother. I think they're at the boat show right now.
Shout out to the boat show. Yeah. And to your mom.
Shout out
That
to my
sounded
mom.
weird. I didn't mean that in a bad way.
Mama
all right.
Starns.
That's it. That's all for us tonight. Today. It's early. It's 3:20. You're gonna have things to do today. Well, substantial. When are you getting something in? I want
Yeah.
red.
Actually, for everybody who's watching, who's ordered, they are shipping. They ship from overseas today, so should be getting them within the next week, and then shipping them accordingly. And then we're going to be dropping some more stuff. So
A red Houston versus everybody. That's what people want. That's what the fans want. That nice embroidering you've got on those, that's exactly the way you need to go. We love you too, G.
Big Jack. Wow, that's my grandpa's name. Big Jack.
Well, maybe it's him.
Doubt it. 512.
Yeah, probably.
That's not him. Yeah.
Okay. All
Not
right.
him.
All right. Thank y'all so much. GoCoogs.com for everything you need. We have some cool stuff coming up this week. I'm pretty excited. And 2 trips. Starnes, you're going to Austin.
Yes, sir. Going to Austin.
All right. Not Kansas. That'll be okay. We'll have that.
I got a
taken care
story
of.
out on Ramon Walker. Y'all should read it if you haven't.
You definitely should read this. Pretty good writing, pretty good story. Ramon is so compelling. He is going to win you games in this league.
Yeah.
And check that out, theDailyCougar.com. Thanks so much, guys.